Hey guys, this is GamerCow. Welcome to another Monster Hunter 4 video, where this time we are going to go through one of my favourite mixed armor sets from recent times, and we'll check out what skills it has, why I like it so much, and we'll get to see some of how I do gunning, because this is a set specifically for the God's Archipeligo light bow gun, and it is amazing. As you can see there, it is a very nice looking rifle. You can't really see all of it because of the cape on Teostra's gear here, but this set is an extremely weird mix of stuff. It works both offensively and defensively, but every single armor piece is from something entirely different. The boots and the specs, the headpiece, are from Arena Quest stuff. The Craftsman specs, you actually need to get an A rank in the G3 missions, so the Triple Tigrex and the Apex Devil Joe quests. The chest piece is from Teostra, with its amazing cape there, as we've said before, and both Gunner and Blade Master have a great cape there actually. The arm piece is Chameleos because I needed the status. I could probably get something else there and maybe get a different skill, but I needed status attack stuff there. And the waist piece, you could have just a regular Devil Joe one here, but I like the way the colour scheme works with the Savage Devil Joe one, and the resistances work out a little bit better, so Savage Devil Joe it is. That is what we have. So, looking at the resistances and stuff here, we can see that I have all positives, which is really good. There are some which are not especially high, and none of them are high enough to stop any blights from happening, but there are no elemental weaknesses with this gear, which I find extremely good. The defense is also pretty good for gunner gear. I don't have any of my gunner sets with upgraded with divine armor spheres yet, because I just haven't had enough of them. But 477 defense before Divine Spheres is really quite high for a gunner set, so I am a pretty big fan of that. So let's have a look at the actual skills that we have here and why I like this so much. So the Craftsman specs give 10 points of the mechanic skill, which is what you need for Explosive Trapper. Explosive Trapper is a combination of the Bombardier skill, or the Bomb Boost skill, and the speed setup skill, so you can set traps and bombs a lot quicker, you can guarantee that combinations will work, and you increase the power of the bombs and coincidentally blast damage as well. The God's Archipelago can actually shoot blast shots, so that's not too bad. When it says increase blast damage, what it really means is it increases how much blast your attacks inflict. It doesn't increase the set amount of damage that blast does. Just to clarify that. We have status attack 2 because this gun doesn't rapid fire status, but it fires level 2 status shots for both sleep and paralysis. So that helps out with putting monsters to sleep, and then Explosive Trapper increases my bomb power there. I can then quickly set a trap down next to the monster while everybody else is setting up their bombs. Works out quite well. And the paralysis is really good for setting knockouts up with the Crag shots that this gun rapid fires. The rapid firing is what is helped by bonus shot, and that helps my general damage output as well, because I can rapid fire 5 normal 2 shots instead of 4, and I can then hit knockouts with the Crag shots because I rapid fire 4 of those, and they're level 2, so they do pretty good knockout damage as well. Not everybody is going to get along with bonus shot, but it's a skill I've been using since free ultimate for light bow gun stuff, and I do really like it. It can get you in trouble if you're not careful, but so can everything else, so there is that. Now, the status shots, the paralysis and sleep shots, only have a capacity of 2 normally, and you need 3 of them in order to inflict the first status on most monsters. So to get around that, we have Loadout here, because that increases your loading capacity of your bullets by 1. So normally I can only load 2 like I said, but now I load all 3 in one go, and I can generally get the monster statused pretty quickly, so that works. And then to further increase my damage output, I noticed the Kaiser vest actually has 3 points of brutality. My charm happens to have the final point I would need with the triple points on the vest, so I can get this combination skill called Ruthlessness, as you can see, which has the weakness exploit of Tenderizer and critical eye +2. So I don't normally have any affinity on this bowgun, but I do when I have this skill, so that helps. And if I hit a weak point on the monster, like usually the head, which is where I'd be going for knockout damage, then I gain 5% more damage output as well. So very powerful skill to have around. So if you want to see how these skills are distributed, like I said, there are 2 torso up pieces here, and that triples the points on the vest. The points that it has is 3 points in loading, 3 points in ruthlessness, and brutality is here, and then I've gemmed in 3 points of status, so that goes, all of those go to 9. And the status tattoo just makes it much easier to land the status from the level 2 shots, which is something you want because level 2 shots are kind of expensive to make, so you want to make sure that you have them count where possible. Loading also comes from the arm piece here to finish that skill off. Like I've said, brutality comes from my charm. You could probably use Teostra's arm piece instead here though, and you would likely be able to get that last point of brutality. You might even get the last point of loading you need. I forget exactly what the arm piece gives, but you might be able to do it with that instead. Then rapid fire comes entirely from my charm. It's brutality 1, rapid fire 6 with 3 slots, so that lets me get to +10 in one go. It's not an essential skill for this bowgun, and this combination especially, but it's a skill that I enjoy using, so I figured why not try and get it on. And then, like I've said before, the mechanic skill is entirely from the Craftsman specs. The only other way you can get it is by using full Lunastra gear, and honestly that gear is not especially good, so definitely try and get the Craftsman specs if you are wanting to do support based skill stuff, because this skill is really good speed setup and bomb boost. Would normally take 10 slots to get if you had to gem them both in. So to have this on one armor piece is really nice, especially when said armor piece has 3 points of every resistance. So go for it if you can. So the usual item loadout I would have with this, I tend to eat for the Combiner High skill from the chef, so that's a 20% combination rate success. Yeah, let me try that again. It increases my combination success rate by 20%. Even if I can't get that, Combiner Low for a 10% increase is usually enough. With the 2 combo books here, that guarantees my combinations for sleep and paralysis shots work out perfectly, so I can set those statuses multiple times, because usually the second time of doing that status will take 8 shots, so I need to combine for those basically. Obviously the traps are very important with speed setup. I could, if I needed to, combine for more barrel bombs here, which I usually don't, but if I needed to, I could most likely ditch one of flash bomb and steam bomb and the dumb bombs depending on the fight, and I could, you know, bring barrel bomb combinations and they would work every time, which would be very good. Shot wise, this bowgun also rapid fires cluster shots, so I tend to try and launch those after the first paralysis, just because they can do quite a high amount of damage by themselves if you're careful. Sleep and paralysis are obvious. Crag shots go for knockouts, which are good when you've trapped a monster, and normal 2s are my main damage output, so nothing too special there. I could probably ditch the pure shots for blast, because of the increased blast damage that I have, but I don't like blast shots when you don't rapid fire them. I find that they just don't really do enough damage to justify their use. So maybe that's just me, but you might get the blast off twice, 3 times if you're lucky, and the recoil just isn't worth it. So there you go. That is my part status, part offensive set. It has enough offensive skills that I can still do really good damage against monsters, but I can switch modes to support if I need to, so I can put paralysis down on the monsters, and it works out very well. The only weakness with this particular bowgun setup, like every status setup really, is that it's difficult to constantly switch between your shots due to the high recoil and waiting times on the rapid fire for Crag shots. But that is something you'll have to face. Resource management is always going to be difficult when you're trying to do a support gun style, so that's not really a weakness of this set, it's just something that you need to get used to. So hopefully you have enjoyed looking at my set with me. This has been one of the most fun sets I've made in quite a long time, and hopefully we get to show it off at some point soon, but in battle and whatnot. But until then, this has been GamerCow showing off one of my mixed armor sets, and join us next time when we show off another really cool set that I've made. Until then, take care.